17 with everything on the line. Aaron Rodgers and the 12-3 Packers here taking on Mitchell Trubisky and the 8-7 Bears. Welcome to the broadcast booth. Three-time Super Bowl champion Daryl Johnson is my partner, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. So this game's so much on the line, Daryl. If the Bears win, they're in the playoffs. Packers are in, but if they win, they've got the number one seed.
Yeah, and I love the way that Matt LaFleur is going about this. He's going to attack this game. He knows how important that number one seed is. They're the only ones to get a bye. It's going to be critical from a mental and physical standpoint to get that rest. Now, I know home field advantage hasn't been that big this season, but when you talk about Lambeau Field in the elements, absolutely. But the biggest thing, no team from the wild card round has reached the Super Bowl the last 7 years.
Meanwhile, for the Chicago Bears, look, they're trying to become the third team ever with a 6-game losing streak to make the playoffs. They're playing better. They've won 3 in a row. So, of course, they've got to go through their nemesis to get there, right?
Well, I think it's the great litmus test, right? The last 3 weeks, this offense has been on a tear, but there's some people that think it's not just their development, but it's also who they played. What better way to find out than having to go against the Green Bay Packers? And a lot more at stake today than just the playoffs for the Bears. If they don't win this game, are there changes? What happens to Mitchell Trubisky, staff, front office? A lot at stake today.
Packers won the first meeting about a month and a half ago in a rout. For more on that, down to Pam Oliver.
Hey there, Kevin. In that last meeting, the Packers absolutely massacred the Bears defense to the tune of 182 yards on the ground, but they didn't have their premier run stopper and defensive tackle Hakeem Hicks, who has since returned to the interior, and he promises that won't happen again. Hicks told us, "I choose not to see that again. We were bullied and we were stomped on in a way," Hicks said, "they haven't seen since he got to Chicago, which was 5 years ago." Stopping the run critical for every team every week, Kevin, but today Hicks said it is personal that we stop them.
And we'll see how he has an effect in that. Meanwhile, for the Packers, big injury news this week. You talk about that run game or the pass game. David Bakhtiari, who's maybe the best left tackle in the league, is out for the year. He had a knee injury, was placed on IR. So that is big news going for the Packers. Meanwhile, here's what we told you. Here's what's at stake. A first-round bye, number one seed for the Packers with a win or a Seattle loss. The Bears, if they win, it's simple. They're in. They can still make it if Arizona loses to the Rams this afternoon. We'll obviously keep you updated on all that's going on in these playoff races. So much on the line in this Week 17. The Packers have won the toss. They have deferred. And here we go from Soldier Field in Chicago. Cordero Patterson